Hey, welcome back. I've got another quick Tuesday bonus episode for you. Of course, Thursday we do our longer form episodes, generally an interview or a bigger, more elaborate breakdown on a health or fitness topic. But on these shorter episodes, what I've really enjoyed doing is going over something that has recently come up for one of my clients or many of my clients, or a topic that I keep hearing over and over and over again, and kind of covering, answering the questions that come up as a result of it. This topic, this one comes up quite a bit, and it has to do with, a really hot topic in the fitness industry, and that is counting calories. All right. So basically, here's the concept. The concept is our body's burning calories, and the more we move, the more calories we burn. And if we want to lose body weight, we want to lose body fat, what we have to do is consume less calories than we are burning, and then we're going to get smaller, right? That's the concept you're familiar with, and it's so much more complicated than that. And in fact, it's so complicated that what we have found is counting calories adds to the complication. It adds to the complication. It can add to the frustration of the process, because this science of counting calories isn't always perfect. There's a lot of estimation that goes into how many calories your body is burning at any given time based on any activity, and there's a lot of estimation even that goes into the amount of calories that is contained in any given food. So all this estimation and our effort is to be perfect, right? To have this be an exact science, calories in, calories out, and it's just simply not that simple. So many of the things that I talk with my clients about are around this concept that mathematically makes so much sense, but in reality, in practice, in day-to-day life, it causes us some frustration as we try to improve our health. Now that I gave you that little rant, the actual topic I want to talk about is something that does, on top of that, come up quite often. And I understand the reason for it, because when we start talking about calories in, calories out, calories burned, calories consumed, the question comes up, should I? Must I? Why shouldn't I eat more on days that I'm exercising? Well, why shouldn't you? Good question, right? Why shouldn't I? Well, it makes sense, right? If we're basing this whole idea of getting healthy on calories in, calories out, that if I'm burning more calories by exercising, that I would then want to consume more or be able to consume more on days that I burn more, right? And of course, that is absolutely true. Should be, right? Based on all that science. Here's the reason why it might not be such a good idea, on top of the reasons I already gave you, given the estimations that we're undertaking and the imperfection of the actual science. Here is my take on eating more on days that you are using more energy. For the average person, and I'm taking athletes, I'm taking athletes of all kinds, bodybuilders, of course, are included in that, as well as models and people who use their body for a living, who need to be very, very careful. And that's their job, right? That's their job, is to live that way. It is not the job of most of us to do that. And so we're going to take those individuals out of the equation here, the actors, the models, the athletes, okay? Different conversation for them. That is their job, and they are not always in shape for competition, for photo shoots, for movie shoots. They aren't always. But if they have to be and they want to count calories and their coaches encourage them to do that, that's fine. Like I said, most of us aren't there. And to try to be there all the time is simply too difficult. It's not realistic to expect us to do that. Now, when it comes to this idea of eating more on days that I am working out, the big problem that I've seen with it, and I'm again, you choose your own adventure, you make your own decisions. I'm definitely not here saying this is gospel, this is the way it is. I'm just telling you my perspective and telling you what I've seen as I've worked with different individuals, and also the individual that I'm talking about most that I've worked with and how their experience has impacted the way that I think about the topic is myself. I'm myself, right? I've counted calories. I've gone through the whole thing to consume more on days that I work out. But here's what I have found. Here's what we have found, myself and those that I've worked with. This whole process is about establishing habits. It's about establishing routines that are going to serve you healthfully. Consistency tends to be the thing that helps us most. So what I mean by that is when it comes to the foods we're eating, the times we're eating, the way we're eating, consistency is our best friend. So if occasionally we're working out and see where this is going? Occasionally we're working out and then we think after the workout, oh man, I have a right to, I should eat more because I burn more calories. What ends up happening is consistency gets thrown out the window that day. Not only that, so before I move forward, that adds a challenge then the next day, right? When now I can't work out, but I'd really like to eat more food like I did yesterday, okay? The other thing is this. What I've often found is we have this idea of I get to consume extra calories on days I work out. The extra calories, the additional food that gets eaten, is generally not food that is going to serve our health. We think, here's my standard staple meals. I'm going to eat those now. Days I work out, I get to have extra. I get to have a treat. I get to have this or that or this. Well, it's okay if I eat this today because I worked out. And what we're doing that we don't realize is we are reinforcing some of the unhealthy habits that we might have had around food. We're just using the fact that we worked out as an excuse in order to engage in those habits that weren't serving us, the habits that got us to perhaps a place that we weren't happy with, or perhaps a place where we started working out and trying to get control of the whole process to begin with. This mentality of I worked out so I should have extra, I should have a treat, I should have more, tends to reinforce some of those old habits that got us to a less healthy place. You can see I'm trying to be very politically correct here. I want to toe the line here. I want to say it the right way because it's not bad if you work out and you're hungry and you want to have some food, right? And it's not bad if you choose something that's less healthy in order to feed that hunger, right? That's not bad. But what I have seen causes some confusion to our brain, to our body, to the whole process is the idea of the occasional day I work out, I'm going to eat more, knowing that I worked out. It doesn't tend to serve us very well. Now, without kind of deconstructing that whole way of thinking and just leaving you hanging, I want to give you another possibility, something to consider to do instead of that would be this. Make movement a regular part of your life. Make movement a consistent part of your life. And make eating healthfully to give your body the fuel that it needs, make that also a consistent part of your life. Do the best you can to eat, square meals with protein and veggies, healthy carbs, healthy fats throughout the day. And do the best you can to be consistent about that. Sure, fuel your body around your workouts if you've got some intense workouts that are part of your training plan. But if just general movement is part of your day, just get those meals in and assess the process as you go. If you're feeling extra worn out, you're feeling extra hungry, you're feeling less positive, you're feeling worn down, feeling low energy, it's a sign that maybe you should turn up the dial on how much food you're having in a day on a regular basis. Do the best you can to make sure that it's as consistent as it possibly can be, both in terms of movement and in the way that you eat. That is going to support you for long-term success. Now, before I absolutely move on and leave it at that, I have one last thing to say, and that is this. All things considered, we've got everything consistent. If on the days you work out, you do feel like you need something extra, you need more energy to fill in the gaps that I just described earlier. And you can tell on a workout day, because of the level of intensity of your workout, that there's something more that you need. What I would recommend is making that a consistent part of your day. And here's what I mean by that. Some of my clients, and myself included, what we'll do on days that we have an intense workout, the one that's planned, we do some intense training, is after our workout, we'll have a shake or a smoothie or something very specific to a workout day. On days that I work out, I have a smoothie after I work out. On days that I work out, I have this shake after I work out. And it's almost like having a small extra meal on the days that you work out, okay? But then the rest of the time, it's consistent. It's comparative to what you do typically. That tends to help for most people without giving our brain this idea of, oh, now I worked out, I can have all this extra. That can sometimes cause some confusion. Hey, that's my take on this. Again, my experience dealing with myself personally and many of those that I've worked with, but I'd love to hear your perspective on it. If you're someone who's a calorie counter and it works great for you and you found a great way to make sure that you get extra calories in on days that you work out and it's serving you really well, I'd love to hear about it. You can connect with me at Nate Slager on social media. Any other feedback you have, I'd love to hear it. And if you're looking for some more support, some more accountability and guidance in your health and your fitness journey, our coaching program is open for enrollment right now. Beginwithin.fit/coaching is where you can get set up. You can learn all about it and get started right there. Beginwithin.fit/coaching. There are other resources for you in the show notes. I'll talk with you again very soon. Thanks so much for listening.